In today's video, I'll be showing you how to change colors for every row in Tunisian crochet. I've gone ahead and made a little swatch here using some cotton worsted weight yarn I have and a 6.5mm Tunisian crochet hook. So for my swatch, I've just used Tunisian simple stitch as you can see here, but you can use this with any Tunisian stitch, and you can even do this with more than 2 colors. So the possibilities really are endless with this technique. There's other ways to change colors in Tunisian crochet, but for this video only, I'll just be showing you how to change colors at the end of your forward pass. So again, for this video, I'm just using a 6.5mm Tunisian crochet hook and some Lion Brand 24/7 cotton that I have from my stash. So to begin, I've worked a slip knot and put it on my hook already, and I'm just gonna go ahead and chain 10. And then I'm going to work my forward pass for this by picking up the back loops of my chain. Okay, so now I have 10 loops on my hook, worked from picking up the back bumps of my chain, and now I'm ready to switch colors. So I'm going to take my second color here and give myself a nice tail end of yarn. I don't find the need to anchor it any other way. I think once I begin my return pass, it's quite fixed, but I like to leave a nice tail end of yarn so that I can weave it in later. So I'm just going to place a loop on my hook like this, and this is the trickiest part, trying not to lose your tail end of yarn. But with this new color, I'm just going to pull through one loop, and then using the working tail of that new color, I'm going to continue with my return pass by yarning over and pulling through 2. So remember that the return pass begins by chaining 1 first, and then you continue doing the yarn over, pull through 2 the remainder of your loops. So that's why I worked that chain 1 with my pink color, my second color. So if we look at the first row, I worked my forward pass in one color, I switched my color once I was done with my forward pass, and then I worked my return pass with my second color. So we're going to do that again. I'm going to work my forward pass here, just working Tunisian simple stitch with my pink color, and I should stop once I have 10 loops on my hook, and the last stitch should have 1 loop in one color and 1 loop in another color. So right now it doesn't look like a loop because it's just this loose tail end of yarn, but once we work more rows, it'll be a more fixed loop. So I'm just going to yarn over and pull through that last stitch on my row. So I should have 10 loops on my hook, and here I'm going to switch colors again, but the first thing I'm going to do is kind of get those 2 tail ends of yarn out of the way. So my green and my pink tail ends of yarn, I'm going to try and move so I don't get them confused. So I'm just going to hold on to those with my right hand here, so I only have 2 tails of yarn that I'm working with. And now to switch colors, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my working yarn, the one that I've just used, my pink yarn, and I'm going to bring it in front of the yarn that I want to grab. So I want to grab this green yarn, so I'm going to bring that behind my pink yarn. And twisting my yarns in this way ensures that they're locked into place as I'm working. So that's going to give you a nice neat color change, and it's going to prevent kind of loose yarn from coming out of the side of your work. So now to begin the return pass, again, I'm going to yarn over, pull through 1 with my green color, and now I continue, yarn over, pull through 2, just like this. So again, once I finish here, if we look at our row, I work my forward pass in my pink color all the way till the last stitch of my row where I still pulled up in pink, and then I began my return pass with the green color by chaining 1 and then working yarn over, pull through 2 through the rest of my stitches. So that is essentially it. That is how you work Tunisian crochet in 2 colors, using a color change here. I've just been changing my color at the end of my forward pass right before I work my return pass. That is where I'm switching my colors. So again, here you'll see what I meant by that last stitch here. I'm gonna insert my hook here, and now you can see that the loops are fixed in place. It's one loop is in pink, one loop is in green, and then I yarn over, pull through. So that should always be the case for your last stitch. When you insert your hook, you'll insert through 2 different colored loops. So again here, to switch the colors, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my working yarn in front of the yarn that I want to have, and I'm gonna twist the 2 colors to lock them into place. I'm gonna yarn over with my new color, pull through 1, and then continue the rest of the return pass by doing yarn over, pull through 2. So it really is as simple as that. You're just changing colors at the end of your row here, at the end of your forward pass, and you work the return pass in a different color. So I continue working my swatch, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like. It's this smaller swatch here, and if I look on this side of my work, this is my last stitch of my row, and I slightly turn it, you can see here that these are the color changes that are taking place. And again, like I mentioned before, by twisting them, you get much neater color changes on the back of your work than if you were just to grab them at random. My only advice for this technique would be to make sure that you're not pulling this last stitch too tightly. You do run the risk of doing that as you're switching colors. You are tightening this last stitch. So if you do that too much and then you don't tighten the first stitch of your row, you run the risk of your work being really short at this end and really long at this end, which will give you kind of a trapezoid look. So just make sure that you are working this last stitch nice and loosely. You can even lift your hook to have a little bit of give on that last stitch, and make sure you are tightening the first stitch of each row before you even begin your forward pass. So that is my biggest tip to you, and just again to keep untwisting your yarns every couple of rows so that it doesn't get too annoying and you don't get too many rows in and then you have to untwist your yarn several times. I hope this video was helpful, and if you use this technique, let me know down below. I'd love to see your projects trying this out. Feel free to tag me on Instagram or TikTok, and I would love to see your work. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.